WrestleFriends! WrestleFriends podcast!
Season 2.
WrestleFriends.
Room 101.
Part 2. It was good. I enjoyed the last one.
Because you got absolutely floored, that's why.
Well, I didn't enjoy that. I just enjoyed the concept. I just enjoyed the concept, is what I said. It's just not pro English, that is it?
I put thought into the last one. I haven't thought about this one. Not ready for this.
Not ready for this. Shall I start then? Since I've got one.
Yeah, do it.
So what I'm putting into room 101 is Kurt Angle's comeback.
Boo.
Oh yeah.
Are you just saying boo?
Yeah, even if you
You're
were
not
saying,
even going to hear us out.
even if you were like, Fraser, you've won the lottery, I would have said boo regardless.
So we're going to do you're going to do the whole thing where you try loads harder for mine than
No,
you
it's
do.
just because you have shit ones, but I'll still come up with
So I'll go through a few points of why I'm going to put Kurt Angle's comeback in.
So are we allowed to like interrupt in mid, or should we just wait till
You
the
can
end?
do what you want, but you know, standard room 101.
Not really
Rule.
gonna have much
Like
of an
even
argument, yeah, 'cause I kind of agree with you.
even though you don't agree, even though you agree,
I do.
still try because it's room
I
101.
might not agree.
I'm sure Fraser will find something to argue with us
I've
about.
got something that I think.
What should have been an epic return I feel has been squandered. He was brought back at TLC when Roman Reigns was ill as the Shield's weird uncle, which didn't work at all.
I like this.
Daddy Shield.
I like this. I thought it added a bit something to it. I thought it was a nice little because obviously it massively affected the main card of the show, so they needed something, and
It was that really mental show where everyone got WWE illness. AIDS.
yeah,
WWE.
everyone got AIDS, yeah, and it made a massive difference to the show, and he still got to come back out halfway in his normal gear, and I like that because as soon as he came out, he did about.
When he came back out, he still had the thing on. He had the weird vest on.
I thought that was his actual
He got put
comeback.
through a table.
Oh,
Was that his actual comeback match, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When he came
Should
back,
have been special.
it should have been a WrestleMania moment, really.
So going on from there, he was in the tag team match with Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania.
arguably the best match on the card.
It was a great match, but for me, the focus wasn't on
He
Angle.
needed to
Oh,
have
wasn't
it.
at all
He still hasn't had that standalone moment, has he?
The focus wasn't on him. He had the kind of guy who should be wrestling Dolph Ziggler. He wrestled him at Crown Jewel in a nothing match in that weird tournament that didn't mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like
and he got quite easily beaten as well.
that was pointless and like a waste.
He also entered the greatest Royal Rumble ever,
He did. Forgot about that.
and he got eliminated.
No, like not the focus. It should have been one more Mania match with a great opponent, lots of build up, like the fireworks, the whole kit and caboodle. And
However, though, my argument to this would be he's already had his Hall of Fame moment. Not many people keep wrestling after that.
but it hasn't really been wrestling, though, has it?
Did you see his
Well,
match
he has
versus
been.
Drew McIntyre?
I've not seen it.
Absolutely meant.
Where was that?
It
When
was
did
on
that
Raw,
happen?
where basically Drew McIntyre squashed up like Brock Lesnar squashed John Cena, and it was basically, it showed you why he's there, and it's to put people over. He got beat, like,
Squash.
yeah, like he got a good bit of offense in, but then basically got the stage where McIntyre actually Olympic slammed him and then tapped him out to the angle lock.
I guess his part in the Rousey match as well was to sort of like,
Keep it together.
yeah, like it was our first match, wasn't it?
I think he was an unsung hero in that match. Like, I think he did bits that were still really
I
good.
think he was always there in case things went south.
I think like it was good in that match, but my point is that like I feel it should have been like a
More spectacular.
one and done.
He has had his moment though.
Thing.
You're saying he hasn't had his moment. He came back. He had his moment at the Hall of Fame, which is
Not an in-match moment.
But
though.
no. But like, he's pretty much finished, isn't he?
He
Who
can-
knows if
pretty
his
much-
neck and stuff like that? You don't know how that's holding up. Maybe they're a little bit worried to put him in a match on his own, like a full on the grand stage. A little bit like we spoke about with Shawn Michaels. He had his moment when he came back and he was announced as general manager. He had a big moment then. He's had a lot of TV time being the general manager. It's not like he's comebacks being like just getting squashed every week.
But I
He's
don't want to see him on TV every week as the general manager. I wanted that moment at WrestleMania and I never got it. It was all like anticlimactic.
I know, but like you might not be capable of it.
Yeah, no. If you think of it, even when he's been like of recent years,
If you add all the bumps
But
he's
what would
taken,
you
if you add
rather
up
have?
all the bumps he's taken in the little matches
Would you
he's
rather have a disappointing angle match, or would you rather
no angle match.
no angle match?
Not you.
had, no, none.
But not you. The average fan.
I would rather none.
Right? Well, you're getting on.
I don't think the average fan would want these little like
So you don't think-
goofy matches.
Instead of not happening,
I would rather him not do the little doofy. If he's going to be general manager, just be general manager. If you're
Yeah,
not going to
yeah.
wrestle at all, don't wrestle at all.
Yeah.
But like, because I hated the Shield thing personally, I thought it was shit.
Yeah.
I've hated pretty much every match he's been in, actually, apart from the Rousey one.
Yeah.
Everything he's done, like every match he's been involved in since he came back, I've not really enjoyed.
Honestly, you'd really like the Drew McIntyre match because it makes Drew look fucking
And I love
amazing.
Drew McIntyre, but I'm not sure whether like what a squash does for anyone. I mean, it does a lot for Drew McIntyre, but
honestly,
like,
the way Drew was doing
I actually thought the Shield thing was like fucking embarrassing. Like it was like
it
it
was
was
a
thrown
big-
together last minute,
it was-
wasn't
I
it?
know it was thrown together last minute, and I just like
it saved the card, like, and thereabout, considering like the booking's been so shit for the last.
I think
couple of years.
I think it's all to do with just like memories. So I recently got a Kurt Angle like
Star power,
DVD
innit?
box set, and like he just had so many good
But
matches.
then if that's what that's what he wants to do now. That if he is,
Apparently, he does want to put
if
people
that's
over.
what
That's
he
what he
wants
came back
to do,
for.
who are we to argue with what he wants to do? I mean, the guy's a legend.
But why not put
Surely,
somebody
like,
over once in a really big match?
Well, the Drew,
I mean, who are you
the
putting
Drew, the
over?
Drew was perfect. That was perfect. Everything else has been
He's
shit.
not exactly putting Dolph Ziggler over though, is he? Dolph Ziggler's like
Well, Dolph Ziggler's putting Drew over again, I think, soon as well. So it's like it's almost as if like I think everything's been a waste, to be honest, except from the Rousey thing and the Drew McIntyre match.
I think the Rousey thing was put together pretty well. The whole build up of that.
Yeah, that
pretty
it was great. It was just not what I wanted.
What I might think if
It was the best match of that WrestleMania, without a doubt.
The only thing that'll
Yeah.
save his comeback is after the Drew where he got literally fucking annihilated. Is if he comes back like fucking like remember when he was Psycho Angle and he was just ankle locking everyone.
Like a wrestling machine.
If he
Maybe
comes
he's
back like
just
that,
having a
but
little bit
Don't
of
have
like,
to take bumps if you do that. You can just
Exactly.
like roll
maybe
people
he's
about.
just having these little matches as some sort of warm up to the big thing because
it's like,
But then you've had the little matches.
you've got to have your like WrestleMania moment with him, haven't you? You've got to surely.
I wonder whether he'll have one big match this year coming.
There's going to be a lot of people just having one big match at this.
But do you think he can be
WrestleMania, isn't
squashed by
there?
Drew McIntyre and then go on to wrestle somebody like Kevin Owens at WrestleMania and have like a long match?
the only thing Angle can do now is have actual wrestling matches though, because he can't do much.
But
other.
if you're in there with
Grounded
someone talented,
matches.
if you're in there with someone
It's not
talented
WWE,
enough,
is
that can be still be.
Well,
like,
that's what you kind of did with Ziggler.
visually
in the
impactful.
Crown Jewel thing. But still, like, that was a shit show, so it's beside the point.
Anyway,
Shall we vote?
well, we need to hear everyone else's first.
I know,
no, you
now
can
you
go
put
on
them
mine and then
individually.
go on to the next one.
What? I thought one of them went in.
No, you can all go in if
You
you
can
want.
know it's like between the. Well, obviously
That's
I want to
not
go
how
in,
the
so it's
TV
between the
show
two.
Oh, the new one is with Frank Skinner. You put them all in if you want.
All right, I think it should go in.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So what would you go along with what I said, or would you have like the Rousey match and then one more match and not these little ones? What would you have?
It depends, because what's happening now is pointless.
I'd pretty
Just
much.
to
It
not do
depends.
what's happening now.
If I was like working for WWE and Kurt Angle came up with me and he said, "Look, I want to just do these little matches," and I'd be like, "Right, fair enough. You can do what you want, you Kurt Angle." But
The booking's always
do you,
so
remember,
shit.
do you remember when Jason Jordan was his son? That was funny, wasn't it?
Yeah, we haven't even talked about that.
That was hilarious and all, wasn't it?
But the
My
thing,
black son, my black son.
Black sun.
girl.
Oops.
It's a song. It's a real song by Lenny Kravitz. Check it out on Spotify or local retailers.
All the other good.
But yeah, it's
Stop this.
the booking's so bad that like even Rey Mysterio's come back. It's like Liberty's came back to do a feud with Randy Orton for the thing.
Who
like
wants
fifth
to
time.
see that?
It's
In
literally happened again.
2018.
Who wants to see Randy Orton in 2000?
To see he actually ripped his mask off, and he
Did you see
actually
his
almost
face?
showed it back. Yeah, if you pause it, apparently you can, but like they're covered
Not
him with the towel.
heavily, like.
They covered him
Who
with the
cares?
towel.
I've seen it in the
Well,
90s anyway.
WCW.
Yeah.
Take all the Mexicans max.
Randy Orton
Uh-huh.
realised it happened, but Ray was covering his face on the floor, so he actually just picked the mask up and made it extra healy, which was quite cool.
Yeah.
But then the EMTs or whatever came down and put a basically the first thing they did was put a towel over the back of Rey Mysterio's head. I was like, yeah, because that's what nurses and shit do. They'd be like, right, I'm just gonna put a blanket over your head so you can't breathe, and then we'll see to you. Like I was like, that's a bit shit.
What
Like,
happens if somebody looks at Rey Mysterio without his mask on? I think his head explodes.
but he'd
Like
actually
scanners.
he'd actually ripped his eye socket apart so you could see a little bit of his face anyway.
Oh no.
Randy Orton, though, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm with Dave. I'd throw that into the Room 101.
There you go. I got one in.
Bang. Don't you open
Dave?
that trap
What's
door.
your-
Remember that?
It was great. Trap I've got them on DVD.
I'm gonna put Primate's retirement in because I can't think of anything else.
I'll give you a case.
Because it was only 8 months or something. Don't do a retirement for 8 months. I've got
10.
not much of an argument.
10
Was it 10 months? It
It
wasn't
was
even 10
you're
months.
really like hurt by the fact it was like so heartfelt.
It's insulting to my intelligence.
I think they've done you, and you're not happy that you've been done.
I'm with Fraser. It happens to you all the time.
But how do you feel about someone, right? How do you feel?
I was
How do
with
you
you and
feel?
I believed it at the time. I was with you and I
Uh-huh.
believed it. But I'm like, now that it's happened, I'm thinking, well, maybe they were just like, they knew he was going to be out for a year.
It's not even been here.
Well, 10 months.
I've got two things
not
to
even
this.
here.
One, is he actually good enough of a promo to make that not be real?
You're fucking
But the thing is, right, so we're now having to go at a promo style, but it was like
I
genuine.
know, but
It's not a promo. It wasn't a promo. It
But that's
was
what I mean. If that was a
Gabriel
genuine,
Kidd,
if that
you
was a genuine
fucking
thing that
prick,
happened at
you
the time,
prick.
fair enough. But even more so, if that wasn't genuine and it was a long play, fucking amazing.
No,
promo.
man. Look at
Neville, man.
Nah, man, Neville, man.
The
right?
This in-ring retirement, went on for
It
about
was
20
genuine.
minutes.
It was a genuine thing that had all of the like. It was like
X-rays of his broken jaw.
yeah, everything. He had tears in his eyes. Like it was genuine.
But maybe he
genuine.
thought at the time, maybe he been told that he was finished.
Yeah.
But do you think so? Because that would make it better.
I think you can have an injury and then think you're finished, and 10 months later, it can be like have healed. I think that's
10 months.
Well, they might
10
have came up with some technology that can actually help them, like some sort of like plate that they might not have had properly. There's anything that could happen.
China plate. Did you just say?
I don't know.
Smashing.
Cracking.
That's the worst thing to put in your face. China would
Bit
imagine.
of blue China.
You fucking prick.
Gabriel Kidd, you fucking prick.
Anyway.
Once I resignate. That's pretty much what it sounded like. Was it? Once I resignate on the 3rd of December.
I'm gonna go and get some water. Water?
Water.
I
I like him.
like him.
Don't be
I like
yourself.
him.
Don't be.
I'm a big fan, but
Apparently not.
10. No, it's got nothing to do with that. Don't make me out to be some sort of primate hater. Primate hate.
Primator.
You just.
I'm disappointed that I got duped.
But are you not a little bit disappointed? Are you not a little bit like, yeah, okay, I'm disappointed that it wasn't a real retirement, but is a little bit of you not like, oh, I really liked him as a wrestler, he's going to wrestle again, that's good?
Are you not happy about him being back?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You must be happy that
I'm
he's
happy
back.
that he's back, but
Because him versus Kid's going to be mint, surely.
But he shouldn't have told us he was retiring, and then came back 10 months later.
What happens if he actually...
Circumstances can change though.
Yeah, but what happens?
A career-ending
This isn't
injury. A career-ending
It's not
injury,
like
right?
not like Shawn Michaels as an older guy retiring, like, and he's like mid-40s. He's like a younger guy. He's
No,
like
but even when
early
Shawn
30s.
Michaels retired with his back the first time, he was out, what, 6 year?
That was
Yeah, it
an
was
actual...
it was like 4 or 5 years or something.
Right. And then let's go back to
DDP.
Daniel Bryan.
DDP Yoga probably sort of
It was
Prime
4 because it was SummerSlam. SummerSlam
doing
2002 he came back, so it was 4 years.
some DDP
Yeah, it was
yoga.
definitely 4 years. But so
You
with,
prick.
with Primate, what happens if he comes back and doesn't take things to the face? No jizz to the face at all.
In the same way that now when in this he would get caught in his beard. In the same way that now Daniel Bryan when he does those drop kicks in the corner, he grabs the top rope so he doesn't drop in the back of his head.
He didn't the first match though, and then he got told off by his wife apparently, which is what.
But he's kind of changed his wrestling style to accommodate his injuries. Primate could have done that.
Well, let's hope.
What if he comes out in a mint mask that stops his thing?
He might wear his Primate mask all the way through the match.
Maybe
That'd be cool.
Maybe he's grown his beard to such an extent that it cushions his
blows.
face.
What
He's got
if
a
he
nice
wears
beard.
a
Maybe he
Mysterio
could
mask?
put it up.
Prime Mysterio?
I hope he never listens to this. And I bump into him because
No one does.
He's gonna think that you just like him, even though you don't.
not really
You
like
like
him. You know what? I genuinely really like him. He was the first
Do you think the
guy who we got a photo with. Remember?
Do you think the fact, Chikara? Do you think the fact that you like him so much is kind of making this coming back from retirement worse because you were so
I
emotionally
guess it was
invested in
because
the
I was
retirement?
emotionally invested and we actually walked out. I remember it well. It was a rainy night in Newcastle.
That could have been any night.
know.
any
Any
winter
rainy
night.
day.
And we were quite silent when we came out. We didn't really have much to say about it. It was upsetting. It was emotionally draining, I would say.
It's exactly what you want from a story. Exactly what you want from a story.
It wasn't a story.
How do you know?
Well, I don't. But
No, it is.
Well, I don't.
So, by the time January's finished, we'll know more of what the crack is.
will we?
Who's wrestling in December? It's like
I know, but December and January there'll be a couple of shows where he's been on a
because
few
he's
shows.
wrestling.
So
He's
you'll find
wrestling
out
for
more.
North on the 10th, and he's wrestling for Defiant on the 3rd. So he's having like a couple of matches and then a week.
Exactly.
Probably was a story because it didn't do anything in North about his retirement. He just didn't wrestle again.
But it's
Like you would have thought if he was really retiring, North would have done a lot.
but he was there. He was in the crowd for that whole show.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, if he had have genuinely retired, you would have thought North would have had a little tribute to him.
He could have just retired because he was doing his wrestling.
They had
at
some
school,
Twitter
and then that's failed.
stuff.
Now his wrestling things hasn't happened. He might just be like, oh well, until that comes around, I'll just
I would like Primate to post a little video somewhere where he explains his actions.
just to you,
Just, Dave,
Ooh, we're listening to
Dave,
that
you
video?
little prick.
Dave, you fucking prick. I'd just like to tell you that
He says in that he says in the promo.
Primate,
He says in that promo that I was explaining to you before that he trained really hard.
I just went to the
I trained
gym.
my face really
I
hard.
just went to the gym.
So, by the way, side
It sounds
note.
a bit like you're taking the piss out of him.
I'm not really. I don't know.
Side note. Do you know when Becky Lynch has broke like an eye socket in her nose? They keep referring to as broke her face. Have you ever heard that
You can break
terminology?
your face.
Yeah, you can. But when has anyone ever said, "Oh, she's broke her face"?
I would say like to somebody who's
She's
vexed.
off work.
She's broke her cheek. Cheek
I would
bone or
say to
something.
somebody who's vexed as I will break your face.
Yeah, but no, it's an actual medical thing. Michael Cole being like, "Oh, she's broke her face."
Your nose and your cheekbones and your eye socket are all part of your face.
Yeah, but you would just say like it sounds a lot more
But you
medicine.
can't say, "Oh, she's broken her nose, cheekbone, and eye socket." You would have.
I would like to see you threaten someone with "I will break your face." That would be quite amusing.
With some water.
I could say that to somebody.
I'll break your
But
face.
anyway,
I'm gonna break your face.
what we're saying for Dave then, I'm not having that in one. I think it's a really good angle, whether it was meant or not.
It's not.
I'm happy for him to be back, but I'm
Disgusted.
putting it in with Dave because we were there and it was.
That's fair enough
It
because
was-
I wasn't there. I
It
can't
was,
be.
but I also a little bit of us thinks like you're right. We're being sucked in and it was an angle.
We don't know
Wrestling.
at the minute
Because
if it was an
wrestling.
angle or not.
Wrestling.
Because if it was an angle, amazing.
Because wrestling.
Naughty little angle that.
It is, but if it is,
Naughty
then
little angle.
and it's duped you, who's quite hard to dupe.
You fucking dupe.
Not hard to dupe. Damien Dunn did it.
I'm trying to
Healed him out.
Damien Dunn.
Damien Dunn.
Damien Duff.
Yeah.
Damien.
No, Damien No Fun Dunn. That's the
his
name.
name.
Yeah, Damien
Oh,
Dunn.
Jamchin from Newcastle.
Damien Dunn. Nobody can.
Have you never seen Damien Duff before? He's
seen
he always
Damien
like,
Duff,
I know,
man.
but he's always like this.
Little no neck guy.
It's like Jamchin.
Fraser reckons that he's got some sort of little like
He's on the spectrum,
yeah.
basically. But side note,
You're
yeah,
enjoying the side notes
I
today.
can't put that in because I think I'm still holding out that was a really good angle, and if it is,
You have to be
Fair
there on
play.
December the
Yeah,
3rd.
be there. And I'd like to finish on like, just in case I don't ever see Primate and he wants chinners for any reason.
we're gonna take this bit out so you never
I
hear it.
really like you.
It's most of the podcast, so we can't.
Uh,
You have to come on December the 3rd to see what happens. You can't not come.
I've got no money, I can't.
Also,
I've got, honestly, man, honestly,
I'm
Christmas.
skint.
Christmas needs to go and fucking fuck right off.
Really, this is why I hate it. Last year you were having to go to us for hating it.
Yeah,
Now
I don't
you
think you
see
should
why.
hate it, but like,
I've got.
Scrooge.
You have to see Jedward.
well, that is pretty
Silly
bad.
boys.
Have to see Jeff. You're not missing any wrestling because of Christmas, though. So what? You got to be grumpy
I am. I
about?
can't go. I want to go to Empire Wrestling on the 30th. I can't go to that.
Boo.
I've had to choose to go to Defiant in North instead.
Which 30th of November?
Oh, who are you?
November or December?
November.
I can't go.
And it's a birthday party I have to go to as well.
Who's?
Like a family birthday party. Mark Batson's. Got to go to Mark Batson's.
Well, that's
birthday.
not for monetary reasons then. That's just for actual.
Yeah, it's not for money.
So
I
that's
probably
not the
could.
same.
I probably could.
That's
go.
not the same then.
But I'd have to go by myself because none of you will go to Sunderland because it's Sunderland.
Oh, no.
Even though it's not far for you.
It's kind of far from me, like.
No different.
It's the same as
no
Newcastle.
different at what?
I think we're getting like
Off topic.
off topic.
Hot topic.
Fraser, it's your turn.
I'm gonna put the
We've done 10 minutes each.
because I've just thought this literally now. I'm gonna put the US title in from WWE.
The whole US title.
Just yeah.
Controversial.
So you put the US title but not the IC title.
No, because the IC title actually has is like matches.
Right, before we start arguing, put forward your reasons for putting the
So-
US title in Room 101.
So at first it was just one of these ones where they brought it over from WCW because it was part of the whole like thing,
Invasion, yeah.
and then that meant there was far too many titles in the first place, and then it became part of it again when the brand split happened after they unified it, and they brought it back when the brand split happened just because they need thousands of titles because that's how WWE is, and then in the recent history it's basically even before Nakamura had it and he's never on telly with a main story for a title holder that's ridiculous. It was with people like Randy Orton and shit like that, and like what's his face, Glorious,
Bobby Roode.
but no one seemed to give a shit. No one's give a shit about that title for I can't even remember how long.
I'm gonna disagree with you, and I'm gonna say, like, Cena's US Open challenge was like the best thing for ages.
Yeah, that was good, yeah, good.
And I
But
think if it's the right storyline or the right wrestler or the right scenario, I think it can be like really important.
when was the last time that happened to the title, though? That was literally the last thing that
Seth
happened.
Rollins had it for a bit. That was great. He was like unified champion because he was the world champion at the same time.
That was before Cena, wasn't it? On the challenge.
It was no, I think it was like because Cena got it back and then defended it a few more times. But I think I disagree with you. I think with the right, and it's got like the lineage. It's like
to be fair, with the right with the right story, anything will work. But it's the same with the Universal Championship. That's been a fucking disaster since day one.
I think your problem with the US title is not the people holding it, it's the
booking.
booking.
But I can't.
Shinsuke Nakamura on
I mean-
paper is one of the biggest wrestlers in the world. He
Yeah.
should be. It's a bit of a weird show. SmackDown. There's no sort of room for middle. Like it's your middle. It's your secondary title, but unfortunately on SmackDown doesn't really seem to be enough room for that. If you know what I mean. It's not long enough, and they're
But why-
trying to cram.
But why not once every other week? It's not even that. It's
I
like
know what
once
you're
a month, if that.
saying, but then there was like who had it recently, and it kind of like built it up quite well. I can't even remember
who had it before Nakamura.
who had it before Hardy.
Nakamura won it off Hardy,
But
and
who
Hardy
had it before Hardy?
Hardy won it off. That was Jinder Mahal.
Yeah,
He won that because that was when the brand split happened again.
Jinder Mahal
So
only
who-
had it for like a couple of days.
Jinder Mahal didn't have it for long, so who did he win it off?
He won it off.
I thought Kevin Owens was a good US
Yeah,
champion.
he was great. Yeah,
Um,
obviously AJ was great.
Roman had it for a while.
There has been loads, and I know generally putting in from start to finish of its lineage is a stupid thing to say, but it's just generally at the moment, it just for the last year, 2 years, it's pointless even having it. What's the point in having a title that has no prestige?
Miz was great as US champion.
I think you've got to.
Miz, everything the Miz does touches.
The dual brand pay-per-views haven't really done it any good either, because now you've got.
There's too many titles to fit them all on.
Now you've got your IC. AJ had it as well. Before he was world champion. It's got a history as well, like in WCW and
going all the way back.
I know. I've realised what I've said is stupid. But
you know what hurts it is it's like if you had one world champion who moved between the two brands, and you had your US champion and your IC champion, and that was the main event.
Yeah.
So you had your like.
I think that would be much better.
So you've got all the main eventers. Like, they could wrestle weekly for the US and IC belt, and you could have your top main eventers as your like.
Things are going to change on SmackDown though, and the move apparently it's going to be more of a wrestling based promotion. Like it's all the daftness and stuff like that is not going to happen anymore, from what I've heard.
We'll see,
and we'll hopefully see more.
You never know what the booking do though.
All the shenanigans.
I should have, in hindsight, put the Universal Championship in.
Well, you can change it. You've got time.
Universal Championship.
I'm not putting the IC belt in. The US belt, sorry.
The Universal's been shit since day one. It would have been mint potentially if Finn didn't get injured on the first night.
Yeah, with a bad start.
It got off to a bad start being a ridiculous red belt.
With
a stupid name.
The only proper title holder it really had was Kevin Owens.
Balor was massively unlucky.
So that you
went never got it back. He never clawed it back.
You went from starting off your new belt
with a new
potential star, so everything's new, to putting it on the likes of Lesnar and Goldberg, and then you kind of like Owens got it in it for a bit. It was like you've got like a kind of new star.
But then Owens got squashed.
It's got a stupid name. It's a stupid colour. They're putting it on stupid people.
I don't mind the actual look of the belt, to be honest. It doesn't really bother me that.
Like putting all that.
Because to be honest, all the belts always look pretty good. I think, regardless.
It's just like starting off the prestige of the belt. This is a new belt, and it's like literally had no.
It's like, do you know what it is? Just looking at it compared to Survivor Series, for example, it's the main belt on all the shows, really. Because whoever has that always wins the WWE Championship holder so far. I know it's only been 2 years, but still. So you've got the main belt.
What was the one last year?
It was AJ Styles versus Lesnar.
Oh yeah, I remember. Because it was meant to be again, but then
it was really So it was a really good match again, but Lesnar won again. So basically, you've got the best belt on the entire brand, yet you never see it. I'd probably say 90% of the actual matches for the title have been about 5 minutes long.
Does it not being defended all the time make it more prestigious and not having as many championship holders?
Not when they're squashes. Like how many of the matches have you seen have literally been 5 moves repeated?
Like fewer champions.
I know what you mean. If it was someone that was good and had proper actual fights,
like it's been like a Legends belt so far, really.
Yeah, if the
looking like it's going to carry on that way as well.
If the Lesnar fight was like the Bryan fight and it was like that more often, absolutely fine with that. But literally most of the matches have been squashes or just shit matches where you've just been bored. I love Daniel
Bryan, but why is Daniel Bryan getting more in a match than Braun Strowman? Like essentially Brock Lesnar is making Daniel Bryan look like he could do more damage than Braun Strowman can, which doesn't really... As much as I love Bryan, doesn't make sense.
Except from that last match, there's always been some sort of shenanigans with Lesnar and Strowman. Except from the last match, which was just a squash, which I think that must have been to punish him for some reason, I'm guessing.
Apparently he's late all the time.
Yeah.
Is what they say.
Andy's very heavy-handed.
Ooh, we got it.
Yeah, he's very heavy-handed as well, so he's there. But to be honest, with people like him, you don't need to have a belt on them, do you? Like, so I can understand that, but it's just from day one that belt has been fucking.
To have a belt on Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman loves to talk about things about his hands as well. Get those hands on that belt.
He's got that lovely green belt that he won at the Greatest.
Yeah, why didn't he get that out? That was mint.
That belt can get these hands.
Maybe he crushed it when he tried to pick it up.
I'm going. So are you?
I'm going to
putting it in and just having the World Championship, and it moves.
And I would love that.
Why has that never been the thing? That's a really good idea.
Yeah, because then it for some reason they're like just keeping everything the same.
Do you not think it's too much like pressure on one person? You're essentially
You can
carrying the whole show.
tell AJ Styles to do that. You fucking
Styles
love it.
Would have like
Roman
been
Reigns,
amazing.
love it. John Cena, love it.
Rollins.
Brian could do it as well.
Rollins, love it.
Yeah.
Rollins would fight 7 days a week if he
I
could.
always go back to how underrated Rollins' title run was. I thought it was tremendous.
I like
His
the
heel run was mint.
Heel title
yeah.
run.
Because that was a really good heel turn
When he
as
was
well.
part of the Authority.
Yeah.
Tremendous.
That was one of the best heel turns.
Can you imagine though? Because by the looks of it, that first Universal title feud was going to be Finn Balor versus heel Seth Rollins, right? And then after that, it was potentially going to be Finn Balor versus Kevin Owens. Like these were the matches that I could see coming with the Universal
But
belt.
was Lesnar of not being put in there anyway? That's it. When
Not
he came
necessarily,
back.
because it wasn't necessarily needed at the time.
But he wasn't. They were building characters up
Yeah.
quite well, and then
Do,
boom.
do you notice they've been, if you look at things in hindsight, they've been so unlucky with other circumstances, like injuries or things like that. They've been like every
They
time
could
they
have brought
built.
Balor back in though as a top guy. He would have got a massive pop when he came back from injury and just put him straight back in the title picture.
Well, the thing that Vince just didn't think he got enough of a reaction every time, did he? That's what he thought. But even
he tried
now,
to make him
even
a
though
little
now,
pumpkin.
when he's in a 50-50 booking or shit booking, crowds still love him. Do you know what I mean?
Good. He's
And he
great.
still, and regardless who he fights, he still puts on a good match,
Oh,
even
I'm
if it's
wondering
probably.
if he could do like a Neville with Balor, and maybe he's like, you know how they put Neville down to the cruiserweights and he made a big like impact with it. Maybe he's do that with Balor,
Balor's just wasted.
cruiserweight champion.
But yeah, Universal Championship, just
I'll put it in. I'm with you.
fuck it off.
I've always thought this should only be one belt, so I'm with you.
Would you go with the one belt but two belts, like one on each thing?
Unified.
Or the lower card
So
ones?
one ring to rule them all.
Why?
One main heavyweight belt, two
show belts.
show belts. So your US, the Intercontinental,
Would you have one tag as well?
and your one tag team belt on each.
That moves
So
around.
why not
Moves around. There's not
WrestleMania?
enough. The tag teams aren't getting
Because-
showcased enough
because
to have
there's
two
enough-
tag
with-
team
yeah.
belts.
With there's not being enough tag teams as well. If you got one belt, like if it moves around a lot, you've got people moving brands because obviously they've got the belt, so you would see people.
They don't
moving
even
around.
need to move brands anymore though, because they do dual pay-per-views. They could be fighting people at pay-per-views and stuff like that.
And then it could swap that way, couldn't it?
There's no need to have all
So
these
I'm
belts.
thinking for the Universal, why not do WrestleMania Brian Lesnar 2? Because basically Brian's like showed I can beat you, and I was literally the closest person that's came to beat you since Goldberg, or Reigns, and then unify the title, and then Brian wins, he fucks off to UFC, and then you've got one title,
You're devaluing
which is called the global title.
with the beans.
That's so annoying as well. The universe is bigger than the world. That's all it is.
You're definitely devaluing some belt in some way because they've always got to put one on the pre-show, you know, like whether it be the cruiserweight belt, because there's so many of them. One of them gets the pre-show and one of them gets massively devalued anyway. So
There's far too many belts.
I mean, at a pay-per-view
Too many
now,
belts, too
because they're
many
mixed
belts.
pay-per-views, they could have like every match could be for a title really at the minute.
Just don't have certain titles on a match, like NXT. Most of the titles were in the main event, and they went for the.
far too many belts now. And all
But
that.
that's what I mean. So the War Games, how mint was that? It shows you with actual booking properly. The War Games main event had how many titles in? The tag
Two.
teams, the UK,
Oh, yeah.
and the what's the other one? North American.
North American.
So 3 different titles were in the main event, and none of them were for the title. And there was only 3/4 matches if you include riddles.
Maybe that's why you were saying about what you were saying before. If the Dunn drops the belt and then moves to NXT, it gets the belt off.
It just, I mean, theoretically, the thing
Do
I
you
want to.
think NXT UK at the minute though? I think they need done.
As the champ.
I don't think Dunn's gonna. Nah, I think.
I
Do
think
you
they
not
see
think- do you
him
not think-
eventually going to the main roster.
I
Triple
do,
H
but
has
do you
got
not
him
think?
as his
Do you
next
not
thing.
think whilst it gets off the ground, like having the big star like Dunn holding the belt is a massive draw?
I think they're gonna put it on there, Shankly Gates,
I
Gibson.
just
because he's got serious heat, and shows you if you have a good heel as your champion like Ciampa carries the
Yeah.
brand.
anyway.
But I think the main thing that I want to put in is just the actual main roster fucking booking is atrocious.
It is, it's packed.
And literally the only thing they've got right is the Becky thing recently, but that's got nothing to do with them. That's literally nothing to do with them. It's felt in the lap.
He's just doing on purpose. Build the women up.
I don't think they want to, but I think that they deserve it. So that I think the crowd have like naturally built them up themselves, and I think regardless what they do, I don't think they can fail.
I don't think we've got.
Enough
I
time
think
to-
we were going to
yeah.
start
Sidetrack them.
putting booking in. Then I think we'd have to start a new one.
Yeah,
Fucking pricks.
Okay, real kid, you fucking prick.
Road Dog, Booger.
Thanks,
Universal. So that's mine.
Road dog, you fucking prick.
thanks for listening.
Thanks. Bye. You fucking pricks.
Bye. Season 2.